They found the hunter lying face down at the edge of the forest. His back was straight like a stick, his eyes wide open, and his tongue poking out as if he had seen death and tried to scream but couldn't. By morning, the village children said the spirits had swallowed his voice. Long ago, nestled between 7 hills and a river that whispered at night, stood the village of Umuaka. It was a quiet place, known for its long farmlands and strong yam festivals. But just beyond the last cassava field lay Oji Forest, a thick dark forest no one entered. No bird sang from its trees. No path crossed it. The elders said the forest was cursed. Even the wind seemed afraid to pass through its branches. They told stories around fires. A man once entered the forest with a machete. Only his machete returned, soaked in blood. A woman followed a missing goat into the trees. Her voice came back, crying at night, but her body was never seen again. So the rule was simple. Never enter the forest, not even for the juiciest mango. In this village lived a boy named Osondu. He was the last born of a palm wine tapper and a widow who sold roasted corn by the roadside. Osondu had skinny legs like broomsticks and a voice that never got tired. He asked questions nobody liked. "Papa, how do we know it's spirits and not people? Why are there no footprints? If the forest is so evil, why hasn't it swallowed the whole village?" His mother would hush him. The elders would shake their heads, but one day the fear turned real. Izugo, the strongest hunter in Umuaka, went missing after he entered the bush to chase an antelope. The next day, they found his body. His head faced the sky. His hands were buried in the soil. There were no cuts, no blood, just his face, frozen in fear. That same night, the village bell rang. The elders gathered at Obi Naucha, the sacred hut. They prayed. They threw cowries. The high priest of the shrine, an old man with white chalk across his face, stood and declared, "The spirits are angry. From now on, nobody should go near Oji Forest. If we disturb them again, they will come for our children." The whole village listened, but Osondu did not. The night was hot. Crickets sang in the dark. Osondu couldn't sleep. He lay on a raffia mat beside his sister, Adaeze, and stared at the ceiling. What if it wasn't spirits? What if something is hiding in that forest? He got up quietly, wrapped a cloth around his waist, and picked his father's old machete. With a small clay lamp in hand, he left. The forest was quiet, too quiet. The moment Osondu stepped in, the air changed. It was heavier, thicker. The trees stood like giants, their roots twisted like snakes. Every step he took cracked a leaf or snapped a branch. He whispered to himself, "There are no spirits, just trees, just trees." Suddenly, a distant sound, clink, then a low human laugh. Osondu dropped to the ground and crawled through the bush like a cat. What he saw made his heart beat so loud he feared it would give him away. 3 men sat by a fire. They were roasting meat, laughing, and drinking from bottles. Around them were stolen items, baskets of dried fish, machetes, goats tied to sticks, and a sack that looked like it had blood on it. One of the men had a gun. Another one was sharpening a knife. These were not spirits. These were men. The chase Osondu was about to crawl back when a dog barked. Loud. It smelled him. One of the men stood up and shouted, "Who there?" Osondu ran. Branches cut his skin. Thorns tore his wrapper. He ran through the bush like a mad boy, holding his machete tight, breathing hard, feet pounding like drums. He didn't stop until he reached the village square. The village was still asleep, but he banged on the gong in front of the shrine. The sound woke everyone. People came out with torches. "The spirits!" someone shouted. "No," Osondu said, panting. "There are no spirits. I saw men, real men. They are hiding in the forest. They have guns. They are the ones killing people." The elders were shocked. Some didn't believe him, but others knew Osondu wasn't a liar. The next day, 5 brave hunters, led by Old Man Dyke, followed Osondu into the forest. They found the camp. The men tried to run, but they were caught. The village found out the truth. The men were part of a gang of thieves from far away. They had used the stories of spirits to scare people away. They built a hideout in Oji Forest and began stealing from travelers and villagers. They even killed those who came too close to keep the story of the angry spirits alive. The villagers were ashamed. They had lived in fear for years, fear of things that weren't even real. And the boy they once called talkative, they now called him Osondu the Fearless. Even though the people praised him, something in Osondu changed. He didn't ask as many questions anymore. He didn't joke as often. His mother said he had seen things a child shouldn't see. Sometimes at night, he would sit alone by the fire and stare into the dark. And if someone asked, "What do you see?" he would quietly say, "The worst spirits are not the ones we imagine. They are the ones who wear human skin